gun? Well, here you go.
And we are live.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Guys.
God,
Yeah.
the lighting is just like turning this mug into like nothing.
It's becoming the chosen one. It's the goblet.
Well, it is full of coffee, so I'll accept it.
Oh, there you go. Welcome back to Behold Lore. I am your hostess, Zora3. I'm here with our lore masters, Rojan Quest at HB Fox, and a pretty face we haven't seen in a hot minute, Groodz. How are you, hun?
Oh, me? Hi.
Yay,
Groodz, what
you.
is that shirt? That thing is awesome.
Oh, I got it for Christmas. My mother got me. It's just like a little dragon on it. It was like some kind of, I don't know, string shit.
String
looks
shit.
nice.
That's cool.
I mean,
Tunic style.
What I also got was this necklace. It's a bear claw.
now like a bear's claw or like the donut?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
A little,
I eat it
little
every
donut
day.
charm on the necklace.
Hey, Rosa, you leave Fox's bedhead out of this. How dare you? He's had a
Yeah,
headache. Leave him alone.
I made no effort to look presentable today because, as I mentioned to Zorro, I've been nursing an ocular migraine all day.
Oh, you
So,
too.
I am. It's taken everything just to be sitting here right now.
I did the complete opposite of Fox, as I woke up with an ocular migraine as well, and decided to go get my hair cut.
The opposite.
Yeah.
I've just been having ocular distress. Like something's up with my eye where it just burns like half the time throughout the day and I don't know what's up. So, well, eye shit. Yay. Well, hopefully, HB Fox, since we only have one guest today, because there's certain people we're trying to keep in pairs, we have the one guest today, so it's not going to be our normal lengthy time, but definitely want to take advantage of it all we can without hurting ourselves in the process. But yes, in case you guys didn't remember, we are doing our Destiny Forged Season 2 vlog edition, where we interview the different characters of Destiny Forged from last campaign and kind of see what they've been up to for the last 60 years between then and Destiny Forged 3. So we'll definitely, I'm sure, have a few questions about dice, but obviously we're going to get nitty gritty of the one and only pirate rat herself, demon countess, princess,
Chaos demon.
whatever you are, chaos queen of the underworld, Tickles. So first things first, what has Tickles been up to in the last 60 years?
The answer for that is yes. What hasn't she done? It's gonna be a little awkward. So.
Oh.
Sorry.
Uh-oh.
No, that's not what... I'm on phone, so I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm
You're
looking
just
up my
the host
notes.
now. This is fine.
I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Fox is the only one that didn't shift.
I think that's the case every time like a camera thing happens. Like Fox's camera is just always on their spot. I don't know why. I
Fox
think
is
it.
right in the center. That's why.
I think it's just because nobody else has H in their name, and so it's just always right in the center every time.
Probably. That's what I'm saying. You're smack in the center.
But if I go to my notes, it cuts off the camera and starts screwing everything. But
Oh, that's fine.
I know. So I know I sent you guys the notes. So if you want to either look at them, you can.
Okay. So you said you sent the notes?
I sent them to both you and Rojan.
Oh,
Yep.
you did? Okay. Would
Yeah.
you rather us kind of read off of it?
Yeah,
Is
that'd
that
be
easier
great.
for you. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, it's
no
easier.
worries. Rojan, do you want to do the honors or you want me to do it? Entirely up to you. I'm good either way. Oh, I don't have access.
Oh shit.
I think
can.
I think I have access to it.
Okay.
You do.
Let's have you
Yeah,
read
you
it
do.
then.
No,
Let's have
I
you read it then.
yeah, I do because I read through it to like give the thumbs up and thumbs down
Well,
on a few things.
Makes sense, yes.
There's
You
only
have
one
no
thumbs
choice, you have
down.
to do it.
Okay.
funny enough, there was only one edit I needed to make to one of the children. That was it.
Oh, nice.
God damn,
That's
that
on
is
my
right.
question. We're gonna put a pin on that, but
Okay, so
Write it down.
just gonna go from start to finish here. Cut me off if there are any questions you want answered. But after the group of adventurers had finally ended the cycle of time, our rattling Tickles has decided, for the time being, has taken leave and headed home to her children and husband. Like she promised her husband long ago, she gave into becoming an ascended demon on par with Piper as equals, partners in crime, so to speak. Anything Piper needed, she did without prejudice, within reason. Being a hitwoman, hitman, stealing valuables, gathering information, and being a seductive temptress to get what she wanted. Piper did what he always promised for his love, his wife, his partner. If it came down to hardcore sex, valuables, or needing someone out of the way, he did it all. But not without being a tease himself to win her again and again, like the first time he laid eyes on her. He did have to teach her about being a proper demon, their etiquette, and she was still trying to learn. Frustrated, of course, sorry, I lost my place because white background should be a sin. Frustrated, of course, he chuckled to himself. As always, their time together, or their aim together, was to be on the top of the food chain of the hierarchy of demons and try to become the king and queen of the hells, which I need to talk to you about. Then comes her children. For about the first 10 years, she helped her kids understand about how life goes, what to and what not to do when the time's right. Yes, she could be devilish and fun and criminal-like, but she allowed her children to be themselves regardless if they followed in her footsteps or not. As the young ones tend to age faster than the average ratlings and live longer, these half-breeds so Tickles did what... Sorry, As the young ones tend to age faster than the average ratlings and live longer, they are half-breeds, so Tickles did what she could to help them on their own paths. And so what comes next is the information on the first litter of children that Tickles had, which we were introduced.
And I'm sorry, it was 6 or 7? Can't remember.
9.
Oh, it was 9.
The first litter was 9.
My apologies for lowballing that. Continue.
5 females and 4 males.
That's right.
So up
all
first,
of our names.
No, they actually have. Groodz actually named them all now.
I did.
No, you named them before though.
And
No.
then we forgot what the names were.
Oh.
In glorious behold roleplay lore, we forgot the names, and they were
Here's the thing.
fixed
I had a
post-scripting.
name. I had an original list of names.
And
And then all of a sudden I
ours,
lost
I
those
remember that.
names.
Oh, they were
I
all
lost those
ours.
names.
Someone
Yeah.
go back to our YouTube VODs and figure out what it is.
But their names now, going from 1st to 9th here. First off, you have Shelly, who is an aristocratic, pompous rat who decided to learn the ways of art, learn the art of politics and sabotage from Piper. She has traveled far and wide, making connections for her family, as well as keeping certain kingdoms either flowing riches or destroying their economy, never to be heard from again. That's probably Rose's favorite. Next you have Lily, a fair maiden of beauty and a powerhouse, thick as a brick, you may say. Her mother told her stories of Tyrus and how he was a powerful warrior and a kind soul. He mastered the ways of the shield and flail, so she decided to train in the art of shield fighting and has made a name for herself in guilds all over the continent. We should just have a campaign where everybody plays one of the rat siblings.
Oh my god, this is gonna be the kobolds all over again.
Next up, Bailey. She heard stories of her mother riding a ship with a giant tree on it that spoke in teleports. throughout the universe and realms. She was more fascinated by the tree and how it worked, even though we had told her what it actually was. She was having none of it. So her way of life, she's decided to learn herbology to understand the ways of plants of all varieties, not without its merit, of course. She does bring plants of all kinds home. Sometimes her father asks for poisonous plants and plants that have healing properties.
That's cool.
Now, I believe the next one coming up.
Is it Betsy?
Yeah.
Well, Betsy, let's just say she's on an adventure right now.
Yeah.
She is currently on an adventure.
Aww.
Betsy, this was the one I had to change a bit. So Betsy has like Tickles, has an obsession with finding a mimic ship.
Oh god.
And hearing the stories that Tickles has told her as she was a child, she has now pretty much aligned herself and has used and trained with Cheeseburger and his fleet and everything to become somewhat of a competent sailor, and now just sails the ocean, Luffy style, looking for the mimic ship in order to claim it as her own.
It's the One Piece.
To one up her mother.
Oh yeah, Mom, I'm gonna be the pirate king.
Yeah.
You'll
and
yeah,
then,
bitch, whatever.
And then we have Minty, which is one of the quote unquote twins, the one of the twins of Team Pack Tactics here. She's a devilish and playful trickster. She likes to make deals and screw others out of their souls or misfortunes. She sounds more like a fey creature than a rat, but underneath that playful glee, she has the heart of ice. An aura of death. She is one of the two best assassins for her father, followed by her brother. When she is on the prowl, her victims are left with a spider lily on their corpse. And then coming around to her brother, Lloyd, who is the other team, the other of the half of the team of Pack Tactics. He is more of the stern and silent type. When necessary, playful and mischievous like his dear sister, they are telepathically linked and communicate without speaking. Starts to smirk when things go his way, and just like his sister, he too is an assassin for his father, but his strategy is more of an explosive kind. Sometimes the incident of an explosion, you may hear a maniacal laugh in the very dead of night.
Oh my god, it's inspired by Bimmy. God damn it. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, see, with Lloyd, for some reason I think of Ziggs from League of Legends.
Okay. I get it.
And then their brother Thomas is more of a timid and kind nature. Very knowledgeable and smart. He was appalled by his family and their dealings. He wanted a normal family and wanted to leave. Tickles understood his feelings and asked, "What would you like to do? You don't have to be like your mother or your father or your siblings. You can be anything we want, and we will still love you regardless." Thomas wanted to be a librarian and set out to learn the ways of the tomes and scrolls of all varieties. He occasionally sends home books and smut for his mother and father. And then their brother Lance is a very quiet rat. Hardly speaks unless mother and father ask something of them. He tends to keep away from his siblings, hides in the shadows, trying not to be noticed. Plus, he's never told his parents what he wanted to do and decided to leave on his own. He wanders the world searching for something to find meaning or even a challenge of his strength. His parents knew what he wanted, so they let him search on his own, being proud of him every step of the way. So it sounds like Lance is on a bit of a soul search right now.
Pretty much.
That's cool.
And then Taffs, short for Taffy, is more of the jester of the family, the class clown, finding ways to make pranks or pushing buttons of a certain family members. He's the only one to make his father laugh as his father is usually serious all the time. Even with his powers of laughter, he's traveled the world trying to find the one true king of laughs. Be it God or mortal, he will become the ruler of laughs and fun. Oh no.
Oh God, that's funny.
I need to talk to you about him too.
I also there's also a little around there. There's a few other. There's a lots of litters.
Yeah, because it continues on
Yeah.
saying the kids do visit Tickles visit Tickles companions from time to time, and their children and view them and their children as their own family. As the kids may be assholes, they do care for everyone else that helped their mother and father out. As the years went on,
Yeah.
Tickles and Piper had more children.
How many more?
Oh, it continues.
They're rats. It
They're
doesn't stop.
rats. Yeah.
It's been
But-
60
but
years
in
since
this
she's
end-
immortal, Jesus Christ.
This end, as Tickles has ascended, they are purebloods. And the families now have connections everywhere. Their own nest is within the continent. For those who are pure, or who those are purebloods, the story for those who are the purebloods are for another time to tell.
I have to know
As-
how many more. Like, what's the number?
All it
Yes.
says here as kids came and went and the relationships of Piper and Tickles bloomed more, it was time for Tickles to retake the mantle of the fastest queen of the nest, West. The top dog of the sea, the demoness of Hello. She strapped herself and headed out on another adventure towards the unknown, seeing her family frequently from place to place, challenging duels and bounties, killing creatures that once hunted her. She occasionally sees old friends, and even Sven sometimes works together as they move on. As the years pass, what feels like centuries in the air starts to churn. The sky becomes dark gray of coldness. Storms of white flushed around. Laws and cities change as magic is forbidden. New vehicles and inventions created by steam. Creatures from the dark ages becoming rampant in the wilds. Churches doing witch hunts on travels, city folk, guilds of all kinds fighting against evil. With all of this information and exciting dangers, she walks down a path in the distance as she sees some travelers and says, "Hello, I'm Tickles. What is your name?" Raises gun.
Gotta keep the trademark, of course, naturally. You don't mess something good. Okay. Well, damn. Well, first things first, I can say, obviously we haven't had Rose on here yet, so I can't speak for her just yet, but what we have revealed so far is it feels like we're all very close-knit to the point that 3 of us present, Ash's children, Zale's children, and Tickles all view each other as like basically family. They call each other cousins. They visit each other often, have play days. Even when they grow up and kind of do their own thing, they still spend time with each other, find time to hang out with each other. As one already was revealed in Destiny Forged 3, where Ash's kids hang out quite often. The little rattling demon.
The twins.
The twins hang out. Yeah. Child number 3, no one's met yet. Technically, the characters would have met them. The audience hasn't. But yeah, so it's really cool that like we all are the very like, yeah, let's keep in touch. Let's all hang out, kind of situation. So it's always really cute that they still have that bond many years later. So yeah, we'll start off then, since I don't know why I want my sick answer. I want a number to how many babies, but we'll get that number eventually.
Do you you know how much rats like reproduce? Now make those rats immortal.
In 1 year?
So
Demon?
the idea I was trying to go with was, I can't remember, but Bimny's dead, or the family is, right?
We kind of destroyed the line that we know of.
That you know of. The Bimmies that you had run into previously were technically simulacrum of the one Bimmy that was in the vault.
So my
So
theory,
technically that branch of the Bimington Empire or business empire is gone.
so my theory was reproduce as many kids as you have, and a good chunk of them didn't want to be assholes and kill everyone. A good chunk of them wanted to be, a
Normal
seller of
people.
goods and stuff.
Oh my god, the
So
new
basic-
Bimmies is now just the Tickles line.
That's what I was going with, because Thomas didn't want to do anything. He just wanted to be a librarian. So you got someone who's doing books. You got someone that sells goods, And what was the? There was a few ups and downs with some of the kids, but other than that, to answer to your question of how many kids they are, the answer is yes, because I don't have a definite answer, only because they reproduce so much that they're, let's just say the colony that Tickles was supposed to take over from her brother, it's more than that.
Number
Yeah.
just keeps going up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you see them everywhere? No, they're mainly underground.
You know that line of like, have an army, well, we have a Hulk? It's kind of the reverse. I have a Hulk, well, I've got a rat demon army. It's
We
just
have a
like,
Tickle.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll definitely have a few questions, but I'll leave it on the floor real quick. If HB Fox, what are some of your questions? I know you got some lined up.
Yeah, so actually, you did just briefly mention her brother, and Tickles had confided in Zale at one point about her family back home and her history with them, and they had briefly discussed making plans to maybe confront them at some point, but were never really able to make the time in the campaign to do that. So just like after the events of the campaign, did Tickles ever go back and confront them, or was she just more than happy to put that part of her life behind her?
When we were heading over there, when Tickles was being kidnapped by her brother, and somehow that got veered off, I don't know. I was gonna ask Rojan if Ralger like killed her parents, is what I wanted to ask.
Truth be told, I haven't really made a full decision on that because I didn't know what you were going to do with Tickles' backstory. Because I know we had talked about it being some sort of like one shot to where Tickles gets the band back together to liberate her home city from her brother who's become somewhat of a maniacal ruler. So all of that is technically up in the air.
Okay.
Because that could be something we do down the line as to like, the gang gets back together for, another adventure, or the kids decide to clean up, a name on mom's list or something like that.
I mean, that'd be good. You all can go play the kids.
Or the gang gets back together to burn down another town for old time's sake.
Yeah, for old time's sake. I mean, you haven't really done anything else, so all those towns that you burned are now back up and operational. It's time for a little more renovating.
Exactly.
Oh god. What happened to Cheeseburger?
Oh, he's around helping
Is he super
everyone.
old at this
Oh,
point?
he is. He is either old or really about to die.
Yeah. How long do all bears live?
It's a good question.
There isn't really I don't think there is anything documented saying how long an owlbear lives, since it is technically a magical creature. So, it could have an extended life period. Being the amalgamation of what Cheeseburger is, I would say he's probably getting, a little more gray in the feathers, and he's taken sort of like a back seat to like his admiral duties as he starts to begin to mold the next admiral in line to take over once he finally passes on. But I would think like with like the time that it has passed, Cheeseburger is still alive and kicking, but he's now into that like grumpy old sailor mode of life.
Get off
Tired of
my
it.
boat. Get off my
He's the admiral that stays, back at base while like like the raiding parties and stuff go out and do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he sort of still orders from the shadows, but he lets like his protege like take more and more of the duties as time passes.
So with that follow-up question is, how does he feel about Tickles technically descending into being a demon?
Well, let me ask you this: would any parents, who loves their kid, still love their kid no matter what?
I've seen enough RuPaul's Drag Race to know that could be a mixed answer.
I mean, if you look at it, Cheeseburger has always just pretty much stoked the flames of chaos that was Tickles.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Very true.
he understands it's Tickles' life, and if Tickles wants to be a demoness and hook team up with Piper and maybe one day take a ruling seat of the hells, more power to you.
Pretty much.
They never met though in this season though, did they? Like on camera at least?
Piper and in the background. It wasn't necessarily something like, oh yeah, here's my demon husband or anything like that. But I would assume at some point in time, Tickles brought the kids and everything over to Port Orem and everything, and they.
Oh yeah, they have many times.
They had a like a family get together and everything.
Okay.
We had a wedding. Everyone was there.
I don't remember this. I forgot we had a time skip at one point.
There was an orgy.
There's Ash.
There was more than
remembers
one.
reading those letters.
Yeah, yes. Those darn knolls.
Yeah. No, I mean, between you and Piper, she found those notes on your bed in our Castus.
We made the definition of a rat king. If you don't know what a rat king is, look it up.
She still has those. Oh my god, this like. That's weird. Hold on real quick. I don't know why that covered it. Anyway, my apologies. The layouts were out of order. I apologize. Thank you so much, whoever that was. I apologize. The font was blocking it. So yes, Roshan. Or anyone else, really. If anyone else has a turn. Or question.
I can't ask a question without leaking any of my ideas.
Be vague.
Be incredibly cryptic.
You know me, I work in the shadows. I will say that I do have a question for Groodz regarding Tickles.
Okay.
Setting out to sea, taking over taking over as a demoness and everything. Did she give up her seat as a captain at Cheeseburger's table, or does she still engage from piracy from time to time?
She does everything under the sun. As she gave did she give up the table? Yes, she did.
Oh.
She gave up the table, not because she enjoyed the hell out of it. It's just that she allowed someone to take over.
Somebody who's gonna be more in line with what Cheeseburger wanted, like more focused on the town and the crew. than what
Yes.
she could have?
She saw someone that she respected a lot. And that is a question later on that I want to ask Zoro.
Oh,
And
now
if
I'm
you're thinking of Ash,
curious.
it's not Ash. I'm gonna let you know that right now. It's a question towards someone you're with.
Well, we know I'm a Turok, so.
No, not
Okay.
game wise.
Oh, okay, okay. I was gonna say, oh god, who is my barbarian again? My barbarian sister? I feel like at some point we should just have like a little mini one shot of all of us playing our children. So we've got the rat, the gnoll, the mutts, because they're
The
just a hosh posh of everything.
problem
then-
is that half of our children are gods. So,
Odds can
So-
still die.
oh,
So,
well, yeah.
like-
I'm technically immortal, but I can still get stabbed hard enough
I
to
mean-
where I die.
I mean, if we're doing a child's one shot, I'm just gonna call it Playdate.
Please do.
It's a play date or on an adventure. Who we're gonna kill?
Please do. Oh, okay. Azrin has a question. How is Rose's and Tickles' relationship post 60 years from Tickles' point of view? Since at this point we obviously don't know the details, we haven't had Azrin on here yet, but Azrin, we do know, is the queen of the court, the Fae court right now. So yeah, she's been doing that thing, whatever those details are, TBD.
Well, they respect each other. I can't remember in season 2 if we kind of like tolerated with each other. I think that's what it was.
There are
But
moments for sure.
yeah, I would say I respect Rose with her decisions and all that, and as for that, her. Who was my first kin? Who's the first girl again? I can't remember.
To
I
the
can't look at my
dock.
notes. Whoever
Let me
the
pull-
aristocrat
I just
rat
remembered
was.
Betty. I know
Let-
that's wrong.
Let me pull my doc up.
Yeah.
Shelly.
Shelly and Rose have a lot of connections with each other, so.
Oh, okay. That's about Auntie.
So what?
Auntie Rose.
Yes, anti-Rose. So, regarding that, because I had her in mind because of Rose, because Rose really took an affection to one of the rats, and so I chose Shelly as that character for her in a sense.
Is it because she can turn into a mermaid? So, you know, like seashells? Shelly. Mermaid.
No.
Oh.
No. Here's the thing. If you look at the list of names, they all rhyme. The girls rhyme anyway.
Oh, I caught that pretty
Yes.
quickly.
Okay, as for the guy names, Tickles had no say in that. That was all Piper. Tickles was like, I want rhyming. Piper is like, I'm just going to choose whatever.
That was the compromise, I'm sure.
That was the compromise.
Well, let's see what I wonder if you're gonna pick the same theme for all the females, or if you switch them up per litter. That's tell you what litter they're from. Different rhyming.
Thank you for the idea, and the answer is yes.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Heather, Jennifer, all the ers.
Heather, there's Weather, there's Smither. I don't know. Smithers to the auditorium. Anyway.
Schmeathers. Yes, indeed. So out of curiosity, I imagine the answer is yes, but I guess this is more of a Rojan question, maybe. With the really crazy kick-ass gun that Tickles had, and you did get the set, did you improve upon them? Did that get some upgrades, or are they still just rocking their original form?
As of right now, the original, upon upgrading, I think they were just like so magical that I couldn't really took them apart or something like that. They're just one of a set.
Okay. I don't know if you did some demony upgrades. You have the
Magical
opportunity.
artifacts tend to get real angry when you start tinkering with them.
Mhm.
Yeah. And like it's like a chemical reaction. You add something, it's either going to be destroyed or something happens. That's it.
Yeah, it takes a
Yeah.
lot of magical knowledge and a bit of RNG luck to be able to successfully upgrade a artifact strength item
Let
without
alone two of them.
let alone two of them, which are twins,
Yes.
without having some sort of like catastrophic feedback.
Yeah, that makes sense. For sure.
I mean, if I could, I would, but I'm still retaining D&D knowledge of things that should not be fair.
Not to mention the sheer amount of cost of supplies and everything, just for a minor upgrade is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tickles will be like, you see that dome? Don't go in that dome. That is an atomic bomb waiting to go off.
Speaking of bombs, refresh my memory because I for the life of me cannot remember. Sven, his girlfriend, the creep that was like obsessed with him. I forgot if she actually got destroyed. She veered off. I'm trying to remember what happened to her.
Currently, she is once again captured.
Okay.
You can try as many people that might have tried to kill her in a way. It's sort of like a demon or a devil where the body is just going to reform after a certain period of time.
It's literally a Majin Buu.
Yeah, it's pretty much Majin Buu.
Okay, perfect.
So
Great
right
example.
now, she is actually once again confined in a upgraded containment system in Arcastus.
Ah. Okay then.
Because even though they failed the last time, Arcastus is the only city around that has the technological know-how to contain such a creature.
That's fine.
The other one is Kamiroska, and nobody's going to trust Kamiroska with something like that.
Especially since they're going to be dealing for the next couple of decades or so rebuilding.
Yeah, like the rebuilding and the restructuring of the power system in Kamiroska is happening, but 60 years passing, the wounds of the past generation are still there.
Right.
So it's going to take some time before like anyone doesn't have a second thought when they hear the word Kamiroska.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. HB Fox. Oh, one tiny little note. Hazard did say that in Rose's epilogue, Tickles and Rose do go off at least once a year to shoot cannons.
Fucking cannon.
Shooting buddies for,
Yes.
Fucking cannon.
and every year we always try to bring the biggest cannon. Who's got the more ego? The compensation.
Got the firepower of their big cannon.
Mine's bigger.
I could just see Rose dedicating like a large chunk of like money and materials into R&D every year to make some ridiculous cannon, just so when they show up to the yearly meeting, it's like, oh, look what I brought this time.
See, we've seen how Rose reacts to cannons. It's very much the same as like a sexy woman on a bike. Almost look like she's making love to the bike. Rose has done that to a cannon, so a lot of love into building that cannon and firepower.
For some reason, Rose just demands to straddle the cannon every time it fires. It just
she has.
It's a thing.
She has in the season.
Oh God!
That's where I got the idea. Okay, sorry. HB Fox.
So I have I think it's fairly broad of a question, fairly open-ended. But I mean, historically, Tickles has, let's say, rarely been opposed to morally ambiguous actions. And from the sounds of it, that has continued. But given the amount of power and wealth that she has at her disposal at this point, did she ever choose to pursue any endeavors that like helped to uplift the people of Talendra in any way? I mean, there was a lot of destruction in our wake by the end of the campaign.
Yeah, as many times.
Or was her focus just set entirely on her family and her new demonic lifestyle?
For those first like years, it was mainly, you know, just finally like kind of like retiring a bit to help her kids out. Piper was the one who's done anything that has to do with like helping these cities and all that, if he so chose to. Basically, he's the one that is like, he is like, if there's a benefit to it, I'll do it. Otherwise, everyone else can go fuck themselves.
That's the Tickles way.
That's literally it. Like, yeah, I'll help your town, but what's in it for me? That's literally it.
That's fair. It's kind of what I expected, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would you say Tickles has mellowed out a little bit in her chaos? I assume the chaos is still very much there, but do you feel like she has matured over time to where the chaos is a little bit more controlled chaos?
And her personality wise, it sounds like kind of like a little gray in her voice in a sense. Like she's earned her years of you know, of some maturity. Is she still chaotic as fuck? Yes.
Oh yeah,
because it's basically shoot ask questions later if it came down to it. But when she's kind of taking that backseat, it's basically her kids following suit with the chaos when it comes down to it.
okay. Well, I do have to ask, and I don't know how much is allowed to be revealed, or if it was even discussed, but curiosity, what happened to Dice? The necrotic moo cow.
You know, that is a good question. I have no idea what I was going to do with her.
It's fair.
If she ever did do what she wanted to do, I don't know. Her whole thing was to find her lover, but
I do remember that.
That's kind of thrown out. Yeah, it was a minotaur. Yep.
Okay.
Actually, no, it was not. It was a
Dragonborn, right?
It was Dragonborn. It was chromatic.
Dragonborn. That's right. I was thinking of the place where you came from, was the Minotaur Island.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Well, it was the Minotaur Island.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
grandpa.
Yeah, somebody's grandfather decided to, you know, destroy it.
Look, just because we're related by blood does not mean I approve of his actions. Clearly,
is she the same cow that basically, you know, don't know what's wrong with her powers? Yes. Trying to do what she can and everything fucks up? Yes. Because all she wanted to do was help, and the helping wasn't helping. That's just how she was.
Made it worse.
Everyone hated her, yes, but it just wasn't helping. Her sole purpose now was just to find her lover. That was all it. And I don't know if she did or not. That might be for another tale.
Speaking of another tale, what was the deal with her being cinnamon? Was it like a demon inside of her that possessed her? Did she have like a weird actual split personality?
I wanted a lot of multiple split personalities, but Rojan wouldn't let me. He would not let me have.
The only reason I nixed having the multiple split personalities is, even though it is fun, it gets out of hand really, really fast, to where it's not even to the point to where it could be chaotic for the story, it's chaotic for the player. Because not only are you having to juggle one character, their personality, and you know how they react to everything, you now have like 5 different characters that you have to now juggle and make sure that they're all in line and keep track of who this personality likes and who this personality hates and everything like that.
Yeah, I had a huge, like, I had like a little table format of like certain characters. I would have rolled a dice, who was first and who, and like every day they would have switched and all that. It would have been a lot of bit chaotic, but other than that, I understand the reason for it.
You save that for Vampire the Masquerade when you're the Crazy Clan.
There you go.
There you go. So yes. Let me see here. Melissa has a question. How is she doing now that the magic of the world is all kinds of fucked up? To our knowledge,
Which
we
one?
don't know that the rest of the. I think we do know the rest of the world. That's right. That was a recent development in Destiny Forged 3, that the magic is kind of wonky right now in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
that
mean awesome. It's
that
awesome right now.
hasn't been revealed as to how it's affecting the rest of the world.
Oh,
Like Talindra in itself is even more in a magical fucked up state at the moment, because Talindra has way too many way lines running through it.
yeah.
So you've seen what happens in campaign 3 when the casters start throwing things. It's
Oh, I
even
get-
more it's even more hectic down in Talindra.
I mean, if Mia has her way, it's gonna get even more fucked up before the day is over.
Mia doing fucked up things? Doesn't sound like her at all.
No, of course not.
All right. Any other questions? Actually, fun enough, my list of questions I had, a good chunk of them were actually answered when you were reading the epilogue. I was
Same
like,
with
oh,
mine.
okay, checking that
I
off.
had 5
The-
questions prepared, and 3 of them got answered in the
There
epilogue.
Yep.
there was a question that Weirds asked in Discord about
Yes.
specifically the
Yes.
Bimmy coin. And I
Yes.
have an answer to that.
Oh, God.
Piper took the coin away from Tickles.
Thank God, Piper, I love you.
Piper holds on to that coin now because as much as he loves Tickles, much as he loves the chaos that she brings, the world has just started working out again after the whole reset shenanigans has been put to an end. So he's trying to let the world continue on into a new age without, somebody repeatedly just flipping a coin to see what happens.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
that being said, it's not destroyed. Maybe Piper will let Tickles flip it again at some point in time, but right now, Piper has the coin.
It's your like, what's the gold? Is 50th? No, 60th, I think, is the golden anniversary. She just has the coin. She's like, happy anniversary. You can flip it one time. You flip it one time.
Oh,
Their anniversary's coming up then.
We've seen some twisted things from Piper though, so I wouldn't be
True.
surprised to see him just put that coin back out into the world somewhere at some point.
Recycle it.
Oh no, he makes other people
Find
flip it.
another adventurer and like slip it into their pocket or something. I could totally
No.
see him doing that.
What he likes to do is people who are in his debt and they cannot pay him, he makes them flip the coin. And then
So,
whatever
Mia-
happens.
Hey, Mia's not in his debt.
I'm
She was
just
very
saying,
clear
at
about her
some
position with him.
point, he's gonna come across us, and you're gonna be like, "Ooh, gimme, gimme."
Or someone's really desperate. They're like, let's make a deal.
You flip this totally inconspicuous coin and you can have what you want.
I'll tell you right now, Chemic, has no opinion about demons. But if a demon approached them and said that, they'd be like, "No, fuck you. I ain't falling for that shit."
I can imagine over the years, Tickles having her own self-interest heist of trying to get that coin back and all terribly failing over and over.
It's just a game they play to spice up the relationship. It's just like, where'd I hide, honey? Go find it.
It's the anniversary. It's trying to like go get that coin. Big letters.
If I remember
Oh my
correctly, the coin doesn't go to anyone else unless the current owner of it actually gives it to them. So,
Yeah.
you know, Tickles, she might pull off some successful heists of the coin, and then, you know, she like opens her hand to look at it and it's gone, and Piper's just like standing in front of her holding it up like, good luck.
Congratulations, you found the coin.
He does the thing where he makes it disappear, like what you do with a dog to like throw the toy, but you keep holding on to it. You like, go find it, honey. He holds it. He would be.
I can just see it now, like, you're a dick. I'm gonna go that way and find it. I know you have it, but I'm gonna go this way.
Oh my god. All right. Do we have any other questions?
I do. I still want to know what Piper fully fucking looks like.
Oh.
I want to see
when he's
him
in his, when
pissed
he's in his
off.
archdemon form, you mean?
Oh yeah, I want to see him fucking pissed as hell. I've never
tried to.
once I've seen him pissed. Ever.
I tried to when I fought him as Jalvos.
You tried. You failed. And Tickles was just like, yes, yes, yes.
Funny enough, Tickles still doesn't know what he looks like.
Nope.
I've been
No.
keeping secrets. Still wants an air of mystery about himself, that's why.
It's the last final act.
You'll know on your deathbed.
Pretty much.
He's like, by the way, this is what I look like. Like, God, fuck your Or the opposite, like, ooh, no, you were good to keep that a secret. Could go either way.
Shit.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we want to wrap up here pretty soon. So yeah, any final thoughts, notes, or questions we want to squeeze in here real quick?
Hey, questions go.
I do have some questions, but they're more about the world and not so much about characters specifically, because I wasn't entirely sure what all we were going to cover here. But if we do have time for 2 more questions just about the state of the world in general, I do have them prepared.
Well, I'm not the one keeping track on time here, so.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of time.
You know, it's lore. I can't help but take every opportunity in front of me to learn more about the world.
That's true. I want to know what's going on with Tharia and everything like that too. Yeah.
I guess the first question during the build up of the final confrontation with Vincent, we witnessed his undead army completely overrun the city of Glimmercross, leaving it in ruin. And we also learned very early on in the campaign that Glimmercross was a very important trade hub in Talendra and the home of several of the continent's merchant guilds. So, I guess, how did the destruction of Glimmercross impact the continent in the years that followed? Was Glimmercross rebuilt, and were the merchant and trading guilds reformed, or did other guilds and companies seize that opportunity to fill the gaps left by their destruction?
Give me a second because I have that answer.
Shit.
Where is it? Is this it? This is it. Okay. Sorry, I was looking specifically for a map of. So yes, quick answer, yes, Glimmercross has been rebuilt. Glimmercross, for all intents and purposes, was pretty much the quote unquote capital of that one large landmass of the continents. And after its destruction and everything, and after that recovery period, it did hit a lot of the southern continent a lot harder than people like in the north or in the other continents itself. But while that was going on, while the rebuilding started to happen, Earl Shore became like the de facto ruling hub as Glimmercross was slowly yet surely rebuilt. Though there is no longer a quote unquote king or queen that rules over Glimmercross as like the past families have. Instead, the ruling bodies of Pearl Shore have now set in a sort of council of overseers from various parts of the city's infrastructure. So, you know, for the people for like shipping, guilds and stuff like that, there's now a ruling body that oversees everything and passes laws. It took about 45 years it took about 15 years to fully rebuild Glimmercross back to the glorious state that it was in, but and that time it took like another 30 for everything to get back into a very comfortable feel. So there's only been about 15 years now to where the southern continent is now once again productively flourishing, and its people are starting to return back to Glimmercross, and new families are coming in, and a new generation is starting to become the lifeblood of the city itself. That said, Glimmercross has a massive hunting problem, as those who had died sort of cling on to the past. So there is a local, I guess you would call it guild of hunters that specifically stalk the nights, or stalk the streets of Glimmercross at night, making sure that any unruly spirits or entities don't really put its citizens in harm's way.
City's haunted.
City's haunted, exactly.
Yeah. So, if I remember correctly, I think it was Godfrey's Crossing. That's one when the chaos happened, where Tickles got the bounty and everything.
Yep, Godfrey's Crossing.
Does she still have a bounty there?
Tickles has no bounties anymore. As part of a marriage, as part of a marriage present, and because he didn't want this coming back on him,
Sure.
Piper pretty much settled all bounties across the board.
What about newer bounties? Because we know Tickles said newer bounties.
How much was my bounty overall?
Yes.
That's my question for this episode.
Let's put it this way: it made Piper grumble with how much she had to spend to make sure that everybody was good once again.
He's not worried about his wife spending all of his money on fancy designer things. No, he's paying her bounties.
You know,
Like, why did I marry this
years of technically being a pirate princess, you tend to rack up a bit of bounty here and there. So he had to go and settle it across the board on all port cities and everything where Tickles was wanted for whatever reason.
What the hell did he do to get rid of all those bounties?
He paid them.
Oh, I thought it just
he settled he as the professional businessman that he is, he settled the bounties. He just brought them all even.
I want to know his thought process. He's like, this fucking bitch. I love her. Fuck, it hurts.
As he mentioned, grumble grumbles.
Grumble, you know, the things that you do for love.
Yeah.
Very true.
In response to your question about Tharia, Zoro, Tharia is a wasteland. Nobody touches Tharia. Tharia is considered to be cursed beyond belief.
Is that where their race takes place?
Yeah, that place got pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
No, Wither Waste does not take place in Tharia.
Oh, I know. It was just a joke. Because we talk about Ross down there.
No, Tharia contains what the church tried to rumor about campaign 3 of like all the cursed beings and darkness abound. That's Tharia. Tharia is, you do not go into there expecting you are going to be at any point in time safe. It's actually used as a death sentence for the city of Beacon's Point, where their most egregious criminals
Oh,
are sent to Tharia for execution.
Huh, it's Australia.
Thoria in Australia. That sounds the same.
Look at that giant flamingo there.
I
I'm gonna
want to go
touch it.
there now. That should be a Halloween one shot at some point. Is like us going there and seeing how long we can survive.
You know what? Done. You know what? Done.
That
You
sounds
will all
amazing.
you will all be criminals sent to
got
Tharia
death
for
there.
execution. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's like I know there's a couple movies out there. There was one with Stone Cold Steve Austin as well, but it's the island where they take the
Battle
horrible,
Royale
horrible-
island. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's the criminals though, and they all have to kill each
Mhm.
other, and the winner gets their freedom. And I was like, oh, that's what this is. Man,
It's just the Hunger Games. That's all it is.
this is terrible.
No, Tharia
I'm an adult.
Tharia is in a constant state of destruction. There
I need
is
to go
there is no place on Tharia that is safe. If the creatures and the monsters that roam the land do not kill you, the environment itself will.
Is there any creature hierarchies in there?
It's pretty much survival of the fittest. It's just
Okay.
the biggest and the baddest rule.
Like the Minions movie. Got it.
Exactly.
You see Bob over there? That's a big giant Tarrasque. I don't know. His name's Frank.
Okay. Well, I think
Fox, did you have another question?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
you
I
said you
do
had
have
two.
one more.
One
This
more?
one's
Okay.
not as broad as the other one.
okay.
And it's in regards to the vault. We
Oh.
witnessed the destruction of the vault and
Yeah,
the
you did.
scattering of its collection, but we also know from firsthand experience that the vault was a truly massive place.
Mm-hmm.
Do some of the chambers still remain intact, or at least somewhat intact? And has the ruins of the vault become like a staple for adventurers to go explore?
Ooh.
Yes. So when the initial destruction of the vault happened, a lot of the vault's contents near the front of the vault were scattered out into the world. As you all saw some of the creatures and everything escaping once you had gotten out of the vault yourself. That being said, being a vault, being something of legend, it naturally begins to attract people trying to, go inside, go a little deeper, see if there's anything in there. Very like Borderlands-esque,
Oh.
but very few have made it back. Though those who have made it back are always armed with items and weapons and everything of great power. Enough to where if they were to sell these things or whatever, they would amass a fortune and just be able to outright retire.
Damn.
So there are still things in the vault. There are also creatures in the vault. It's just now all the doors of the vault are open. So it's pretty much go in at your own risk. But
It's
high
like
chance you're not coming out.
Borderlands meets Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's
it-
a
it-
combo.
It's very much something keeps the vault powered. And those who have gone in and have come back out, their stories are different. Some have, claimed that they tried that, like they have mapped out, as far as they have gone. But as they were leaving, the map did not match what they had previously written down. So the vault itself is ever changing.
Oh, cheeky.
Which shouldn't come as too much of a surprise from those of us that have been in the vault, because we did witness a little bit of that ourselves
Mhm.
with the vault
true.
kind of shifting and changing as we were trying to progress through it.
Yeah, so the vault is most definitely still there. And I don't know. maybe it will be something that's visited upon in campaign 4.
Oh, you're thinking that far ahead.
I've already decided that campaign 4 is gonna be back on Talindra, because there is so massive. There are places that you either barely touched or never saw, and now
100%.
this is 60 years. This is 60 plus years in the future. Place is going to change a little bit. New cities are going to pop up. Some of the dangers, like the Maw itself, after it had been settled by Zale and their people, who knows who else is building in there now.
See, and I always wanted to go to the Frigid Crown. I was like,
yeah,
I want to go to that place. That's where the ice hag was too, and I was like, what's over there?
And it's like, you barely even touched anything over in the Caustic Ocean.
Yeah,
like the Wildlands itself.
Yeah,
we did a little one shot there, but like Kami Raska, like Caustic, White Shore, all those places, you only touched Kami Raska for like 2 episodes, and that was it.
Yeah,
like there is like
more than 2 episodes, but we just stayed there.
Yeah, there is.
That's all we did.
There is so much on that continent that you haven't explored. Pretty much a lot of all the stuff that you explored was the center continent. And in that
very
case,
intimate with Far Reach, more than we wanted to.
This is true.
But yeah, you're right. We pretty much stayed in the center, a little bit of the north, but north center, and then Far Reach, and that was otherwise we just kind of dabbled a little bit here and there, but not long enough to really hang out.
Of all the plots on the map, we've only visited like 30% of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in this,
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. And in this time around, when you go into it, I have a plan as to how you are all going to be introduced. Because
campaign for us.
because of how everything is set up now, the influx of magic and everything, I have an idea that I'm trying to shape that will somewhat begin to mold your characters into adventurers.
That's cool.
We are magical items.
Maybe even cameos from some of our whoever still alive characters. We'll see. Oh, that's exciting. You heard it here first, folks.
It's gonna be so hard to resist just playing another Noel. Like, I struggle with that in every game that we do, but now we're going back to the home of them.
You could.
I could.
I just need your characters to stop dying over and over.
I try, but I cannot promise that.
Look,
hey, I'm no longer in the lead.
Look.
Destiny Forged is the most frequent.
It's not a Destiny Forged campaign unless either Fox's characters or Grood's characters die repeatedly.
Multiple
Sometimes at the same time.
Multiple.
Yeah.
Every single
Groodz still has the speedrun record of their characters dying.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's gonna beat that record.
Like episode 2, 3?
2. Episode 2.
Yep.
Just for that, I'm gonna play a human character and just jump off a fucking cliff for you. First day.
I'm a human. I heard that any all humans speed can fly once.
Any percent speed run. Let's go.
Let's go.
Just low intelligence. I heard all humans can fly once. Jumps off a cliff.
Jumps off a cliff, actually flies.
Oh shit.
At that point, I should have played an orc. We'll do this Warhammer style.
Yeah. That's what I was like, the orcs or the Kuatoa. It's like the Kuatoa probably got, convinced that all humans could fly once. And now all humans can fly once.
Only one time if I do the second time.
Yeah, there you go. Just play a catfolk character that's literal 9 lives. You can only die a max of 9 times in a campaign, and then your character's done. There you go.
Given my rules of death, that poor cat would be having a hard time after death 3.
That cat just wants to die.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some shit, man.
I've seen some shit. I keep coming back. It's wrong with me. Oh my gosh, that's too funny though. But thank you so much, Groodz, for hopping on with us. This was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to, seeing how everyone else's epilogues fall into play. I'm excited to see how they interact in future campaigns, as well as potentially what happens when we eventually do that battle royale. Let's see how the OG characters come back and see what's going on. But it'll be fun to see what future interactions they have with each other. So yeah, so thank you guys so much for coming to our Behold Lord talk show. This is not the only show we have. We have several shows which should be coming back next week. We had holidays, and then several of us, including the DMs, had the plague. So me and Rojan are healed now. Some of the players even had the plague. So we are better. So speaking of Monday, I do believe we're still on course on having Destiny Forged, correct?
As long as everybody's, good to play, I am good DM.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, every Monday we do have our Destiny Forge, our longest running campaign run by Rojan. Tuesday, alternating Tuesdays, we have Tales of the Outer Rim, a Star Wars 5e game run by Tiltbot. Then we have our alternating Thursday games. We have, oh god, it's been so long, my brain just farted. We have the Mass Effect Horizons game, run by me, which is a Mass Effect 5e searching game. And then on alternate Thursdays, we have the Tricorn Isles, which is our High Seas campaign run by Rojan, that takes place in the Tricorn Isles. Then we have our 2 alternating Saturday shows. We have our Wayward Wanderers, which is our Pathfinder 2 Extinction Curse campaign run by Azerin. And then we have our alternating show of Third Waste run by Rojan, which is our Wasteland post-apocalyptic type themed campaign. Then of course we have this show, which is the technically first Saturday of every month. Last Saturday was because again we had the plague, so here we are. And then we have our other show, may pick up because it's killing us only doing it once a month, and it's only been months, which is our Would-Be Heroes. It's based on the Kids on Bikes dice campaign, where we are essentially X-Men superheroes, which has been really interesting on the creativity that we've come up with on how these characters interact and use their powers so far. It's been very interesting. So I'm excited to see how they can develop. So yeah, if you guys miss any of our shows live, feel free to check them out. I do upload them. I am ever so slightly behind, just by one video, on our YouTube channel. Otherwise, you can join us on our Discord and any updates that we have. Otherwise, I think in the meantime, we will see you guys on Monday.
Hold on 1 second.
Destiny Forged. Oh, never mind.
Hold on 1 second. I want to see if it comes through.
Sonata 4 still TBD.
Yeah, I keep reworking it.
Stop it.
Save
for campaign.
Well, that's the problem, is I don't want there to be any more like sequential sonatas after 4. I want to jump into that like chapter-based storytelling of a campaign.
Yeah.
But a lot needs to happen before that starts. So I keep rewriting Sonata 4, trying to fit everything in that needs to be in, but also not just overloading it with too much stuff.
I don't think Zorro has the updated code for Extra Life, but
wait, where?
I
Where would I have the code?
I put the channel code, or the channel code is in chat, or in our team chat, but
Oh,
I was
no,
saying,
Fox is
hold
in
on.
charge of that. For the
Oh, it might be a Streamlabs thing.
It's a
might need
Streamlabs
it's a
to,
thing.
Streamlabs thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Fox has that.
Yeah,
Like,
they
what
don't
do you
like
use
to
that
save
for?
my changes sometimes, so I might need to go back and do it again.
Okay, well, so I'll just say all of you on Monday are fucked.
Wait,
I
what?
just
More than usual?
Wait, what?
I dropped $100, so get ready for a draw on Monday.
From who?
I did it.
Wait, so like you're drawing as the DM? You're drawing?
No.
No, he threw $100 into it, so someone's going to be pulling from the deck of many dicks.
That's why I'm wondering who's pulling. That's why I'm asking who's pulling.
I haven't decided yet.
Oh fuck! It's gonna be Mia.
Can
Roten has it
we
out for you.
can we vote as a group who gets to draw?
You know what?
And can I bribe
I'll let the
you
community
guys?
choose.
don't do that.
I am making a straw poll, and I will let Discord choose who is drawing.
Do we get to vote?
Yes.
Can I vote multiple times
No.
for the same
stop it.
person?
No.
Historically,
you're just like,
votes have not
Raven,
gone in
Raven,
my
Raven.
favor. I'm just saying. And I do like to make Raven suffer.
Oh my gosh. This is gonna be nuts. All right, well, you heard it here, folks.
Yeah. And so whoever wins gets to draw.
Okay.
Yay. Well, as I said, we will see you on Monday for Destiny Forged, where we're just gonna start off the new year with fooing. Just gonna fuck around and find out. See what happens.
Find around and fuck out.
I like finding around and fucking.
Just end it. Once again, thank you so much, Groodz, for being on here with us. We have an idea of who's going to be on here for the next episode. But again, we'll have to coordinate and get things up, so I'm not going to say it now, just we make sure. So, yeah, we'll see you guys next month here. Otherwise, we'll see you on, I almost said Tuesday, Monday. I know my days of the week. For some Destiny Forged. Until then, you guys take care.